Hi, I'm Chuck. We are out here on somebody's property on our own discovery search, and we have discovered this bush, which an animal has clearly been picking at because all the leaves are laying on top of the snow.
And you can tell you're recording, there's a little bit of light.
Here in Gardendale, and as you can see, we are on the outskirts of town, headed towards a pit that has been here since the 60s. It's roughly about 20 feet deep. There's a lot of wildlife running around out here. We've seen a few rabbits, a couple of coyotes running around, and a couple of animals running around. You can't really tell what they are because they're too far away, but see what else we can discover. On our way to the pit, we have discovered these tracks, which are most definitely from some sort of rabbit. And there's also coyote tracks back there where we came in, suggesting that perhaps the coyote was chasing these rabbits. The tracks go all sorts of different directions and intersect and go up into the bushes, and you can clearly see that the leaves have been knocked off the bushes from animals running into the bushes trying to get away from one another. So there's definitely a lot of animal activity out here. And here we go, 2 feet later, coyote tracks. They look a little older than the rabbit tracks that we just came across. And yet again, a few feet away from there, fresh coyote tracks, headed this way, towards the pit. Coyote tracks leading over here to an apparent rabbit's den.
There's no tracks coming out of it though.
Coyote tracks leading past that rabbit hole and still headed over here towards the pit. The pit is roughly a quarter-mile away from the fence line of Gardendale, going towards the west. The county owns this property. They used to dump asphalt out here. As far as what they've been doing with it lately, I don't know, but I guess we can find out once we get there. And here we are on a perfect flat sheet layer of ice. Can anybody say snowboard? Alright, well, we've made it to the pit, and this is the pit. Should have brought a snowboard with us or something. Who says Texas doesn't have a ski resort? We have one on the north side of Odessa. There is a tire sticking out of the hill. And these are some caves that I made when I was a kid that have been halfway torn out by a bulldozer, and this place just ain't what it used to be. We have found these tracks. We don't know what they are or where they're heading, but we are following them, and it appears to be headed towards that tree in the field. There's some spots where rabbits were digging green plants out from under the snow and eating it. County's been talking about sanctioning or zoning this place off to build more houses out here. The more houses they build, the less wildlife we will have. Okay, we finally made it to the outskirts of the tree. It's very creepy out here. Legend has it that a witch once had a house out here in the middle of this field, and the people of this town didn't want witchcraft around, so they hung her from the tree and burnt her. The tree has been burned down, it has been pulled over, it has been shot at. The tree keeps standing back up. There are little caves in the ground all around, but no animals in them. But they always look like they're fresh. You never see anything out here. You can hear crows all the time, and there's never any crows out here. here we have found some stones that were part of a outdoor stove or part of a sewer line. This used to be a hole in the ground a long time ago. I don't know exactly what it was, but here are the remains of it. I found another one. This one is fully intact but has been filled in. Here's the tree. Out here we have the remains of a windmill, 4 posts, and the water well. Here's what those pillars were used for. This one has clearly not been filled in. I have no idea what this is, but it's a hole. There are boards on the ground that have been here since the 1800s, and little bricks and all kinds of house building materials that have been here since the 1800s. These pipes, all these metal pipes here, all these pieces of rebar, this tree stump that's been rotted out, these pieces of barrel, and out here somewhere is the foundation where the house used to sit. In fact, I'm standing on top of it. And here are the remains of the witch's house. You can see the metal I-beam here connected to the wall using elongated bolts with square nuts on them that have not been used in well over 100 years. But yet these bolts aren't very rusted for something that's been out here for that long. There is a cement pillar that appeared to be buried under the ground as part of the foundation of the house with a wooden stake sticking out of the top. That is also not something that wouldn't be rotted, which should be more rotted for something that's been sitting here for that long. I found another cement pillar on my way back to my car. I found a piece of this tree on the ground. If you look at it, the bark on it does not look like bark. It looks more like alligator skin, and it feels very scaly. It's very hard. This piece of wood should be rotten. It's flexible like skin.